What's going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we'll be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as Tron. Haven't done a video on Tron in quite a while, but a friend asked me to check it out, so that is exactly what I'm going to do today. We will also be checking out two articles, or two different subtopics. Quite interesting. One is Tim Draper saying he paid $18 million for his first Bitcoin batch, and what's it worth now? And then we have another article. This is more so geared toward the Tron fans, people who are interested in Tron, who want to know a little bit more about Tron or just want to hear different information on other altcoins. Basically, this is talking about BitTorrent executive says there's no way Tron will manage BitTorrent's tokens. Now, I did pull up Tron's technical analysis, and it is showing some quite interesting, charting, and I would like to, discuss that as well. Let me just fix this microphone here. There we go. So currently, before we jump into things, I would like you guys to all subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up if you like the content. Also, if you wanted to check out a way to make $25 on your first sign up, if you haven't already, download the ABRA app, link in the description, top of the description. Your first $5 bank deposit will give you $25 of Bitcoin, so it's pretty cool. A bunch of you guys have done it already, so shout out to you guys. Appreciate all that who have helped support the channel. It's basically you get 25 and the person who referred you, which is me, gets 25, so it's pretty awesome. So if you want to help out the channel, definitely check out that link. Furthermore, let's jump into today's episode. So I'm on the current coin market cap, and a couple of things to look at. We have a market cap of 121.9 bill, 24-hour volume 13.2 bill, Bitcoin dominance 52.5. So Bitcoin dominance does seem to be increasing as compared to yesterday. We were at like 52.1 or 2%. Now we're at 52.5. So a slight increase, nothing crazy, nothing dramatic. We don't really see massive jumps in Bitcoin dominance. 24-hour volume though is quite substantially low. 13.2. We were seeing it at like 15, 16 billion yesterday, and then 20 billion the day prior. As you can see, we're having a sell-off. We're having a dip in the prices, but we kind of hit a bottom, and now we're starting to consolidate, trade out sideways, become a little more stable, and that's why we're seeing lower volume. Market cap 121.9. We're also seeing that dip a little bit compared to yesterday. It's expected after we have a giant sell-off. It's about even though, and not really seeing much of a difference, but as you guys can see clearly, when we have that sell-off and we have low transaction volume, low, 24-hour volume, 13.2, you can see what that does is it shows you that there's sideways trading, no volume, so slow. And it's happening in all the coins. You guys can also note that Bitcoin, whatever usually happens to Bitcoin happens to XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, EOS, Stellar, all the coins, Litecoin, most of the top 10 coins, and then more so, they all seem to follow Bitcoin. So Bitcoin 3600, 3661, not even really down by 1%, pretty much consolidation. 4 out of the 10 coins, top 10 coins, are doing well, or at least in the positive zone, but there's really not much change, only about 1 to 2%, in either direction. So it doesn't look too bad. Litecoin 3252, only up 0.78%. That doesn't look too bad either. Unfortunately, still in the number 8 spot, but coming very close to bumping out Tether. Only about 20 million off, 22 million off. So not really something to worry about. I do think Litecoin's going to bump in front of Tether fairly soon. Furthermore, jumping into the articles for discussion today. So Tim Draper paid $18 million for his first Bitcoin batch. What is it worth now? That is definitely an interesting topic. So basically, if someone was to ask about fervent crypto investors, who would come to mind? For most Bitcoin enthusiasts and investors, Mike Novogratz, the Winklevoss twins, and Tim Draper would be the first mentioned usually, and for good reason too. As aforementioned, four have invested copious amounts of money, time and mental capacity into this nascent blockchain world. It does come to mind that maybe they do have an interesting view on things, and it's nice to hear them, and voice it to all you guys. So it says Tim Draper, often clad in a great suit, white dress shirt, and purple Bitcoin logo studded tie, recently divulged in his hero origin story, if you will, talking to CoinDesk. So this is News BTC what I'm reading off of. But it says, to celebrate Bitcoin's 10th birthday, Tim Draper, the world-renowned American venture capitalist and forward thinker, wrote an OPED piece for a recent CoinDesk feature series. Draper, whose investor son also believes cryptocurrencies are also tantalizing, so addictive. Most of you guys know what tantalizing is. Noted that it was 15 years ago when he saw value in digital currencies. However, a viable digital medium of value didn't appear in Draper's scope until 2011, which is still an awesome time to get involved. Vincennes and Draper hit off near immediately, with the latter asking the former to purchase $250,000 of Bitcoin in 2011 on Mt. Gox. So we've all heard about Mt. Gox and what exactly has happened there. But it says, yet later, Draper was given an opportunity to purchase crypto again when in the U.S. Marshal's office auctioned nearly 30,000 Bitcoins. The entraced venture capitalist, still reeling from Mt. Gox collapse. So yeah, he did, experience that, decided to attend the auction, purchasing 29,656 coins at $630 a piece. Oh my God. That's wild. 29,656 coins at $632 a piece. Wow, $14 above the going rate on spot exchanges. In all, he spent $18.7 million. Wow, can we just take a moment to think about that? 29,656 coins he bought at $630. Back in, I know it was a while ago, but, now we've seen in early 2017, sent Bitcoin to $20,000, and he didn't sell his stack for fiat. And while many common Joes chirp at Draper for this, claiming that he's an irresponsible investor, the venture capitalist is doing just fine financially. So even if he didn't sell, or even if he didn't come public with the fact that he sold off at $20,000, even if he still held on with Bitcoin almost at $4,000, him buying 18 million, worth of Bitcoin at $630 a piece, he is beyond rich. And he already was beyond rich, but this just helped him out even more so. So basically, Draper's Bitcoin outlook: at current rates, Draper would be left unscathed if he liquidated his Bitcoin stash, as he would still be able to secure 107 million if sufficient liquidity demand is present. However, Draper seemingly is not willing to sell his Bitcoin, sees even higher highs for this industry in the future. The zealot, now emotionally involved in the industry, noted that there's still great potential in Bitcoin. Now notice they said emotionally involved, and we tried to, get rid of that emotional, feelings when we look at technical analysis, because that can, influence a trade in the wrong direction, and we don't want that. That's not good. He noted that not only could Bitcoin become a global, decentralized, frictionless store of value and digital cash, but blockchain could get implemented in some of society's most important facets. Summarizing his points into a short, sweet quip, he wrote, "Blockchain is honest, incurable, secure, and fair." So pretty wild. That's for the mainstream, everybody who's interested in Bitcoin. I think that's absolutely, crazy. And then to sum things up really quick with this whole ex-BitTorrent executive and, Tron management, just to really sum this up the best I can, it says, according to Simon Morris, former chief strategy officer at BitTorrent, Tron will not be able to manage the transaction volume needed to token-size BitTorrent. Blockchain news website Breaker Mag published an interview with him on January 11th, which was, let's see, this old freaking iPhone, Apple Watch, January 13th. So it said, according to the interview, Morris noted that when he worked at BitTorrent, he and his team discovered that bringing a token and automated auctions to prioritize download queues could increase the speed of the network by up to 40%. Nevertheless, Morris repeatedly stated that there's no way the Tron blockchain could handle the transaction volume that such a system would require. According to him, his team needed hundreds of transactions per second just to get started. So then, they had a lot of back and forth discussions, and it says, Morris reportedly suspects that Tron will manage BitTorrent's transactions on a central server, and as he says, pretend it is Tron-based. According to Breaker Mag, Morris expects the efficiency of BitTorrent will increase as predicted, but he doesn't expect the system to be Tron-based. Still, he reportedly noted this centralization could make the system less reliable. A Tron spokesperson told Cointelegraph in private comments today that Morris appears to have little insight into BitTorrent's operational plans since his departure. So, pretty much, it says, as Cointelegraph reported, BitTorrent has launched a native token, BitTorrent BTT, based on Tron protocol. News recently broke that Tron has hired a former U.S. Securities Exchange Commission supervisory attorney as its chief compliance officer. So, moving on, to give a little insight. What it looks like to me is they're not really giving much insight on what exactly is going on right now within BitTorrent and Tron. It's interesting that they are having some sort of partnership, but it doesn't seem like it's really warranted to the public. And what I mean by that is, like, they're really not becoming very open or public about what exactly is going on. Yes, there's a lot of back and forth talk, but there's no real, proven, factual things that I'm trying to read. These are all just summaries and trying to figure out what exactly is going on. There does seem to be some issues with, BitTorrent and Tron trying to partner, whether or not Tron can hold such a massive queue and all the transactions that BitTorrent actually goes through. So I did notice that it did affect its price, which is interesting too. And as you guys can see, here's a quick clip of it. I'm going to review Tron last, unfortunately, for those who are interested in this. I'm going to do the top 3 first, and then we'll go into Tron at the end of today's episode. So as you guys can see clearly here, just to make this short and sweet, because I know a lot of you guys don't like when I do, when the market gets stable, there's pretty much not much exactly we can talk about, but there is certain things to, point out, and that's why I like to dive into other altcoins. But basically, you can see that Litecoin has an ascending triangle. It broke bearish from this as it hit the high-low MMA on Litecoin's daily. We pulled back down, and we did pull back down on Litecoin to around 47 on its relative strength index on its daily charts. We're seeing another day of trading sideways, and we're practically just stuck within this channel right here. So we do have a channel, bam, bam, bam. You can see it right here, and there's a lot of congestion here. We're not really seeing much movement. That's what we fell into. We found support at $30, and we're currently trading with a resistance of 33, 38. We're going to hang out in here for quite a bit. Moving on to its 4-hour, you can see, though, that we were oversold, currently pulled back up. I think this is a good buying zone, at least in this channel. I bought here, whatever that means to you guys, but we're stuck in the channel. We've been in here for quite a long time. We've had December 28th all the way to January 5th, which is about a week-ish, a little more stuck in this channel. So we may see, we may experience another week of trading in this channel before we can build up enough volume to break through, retest the high-low MMA on Litecoin's 4-hour and move up to a projected high. I think it's nice that we finally found a bottom, at least for this dip, and we're not really going to go much lower than that. But I do think in the longer term things, we will shoot up again and retest 39. Once this high-low MMA gets lower, we should be able to break up with much more aggressive volume. Bitcoin, what a weird chart, guys. Bitcoin, I have the volume right here, and somebody asked me, where do I get these high-low MMA lines? To show you guys here, it's the middle high-low moving average, 35 and 100. All you guys got to do is literally go into indicators and then search right here, the middle, and you can see right here, the middle, and it comes to middle high-low moving average. Literally just click this and you will get the lines that I have on the screen, the green and red lines. Now, I don't think these are the same colors that you get. I could be wrong though, but I have changed the colors here. You basically click this, and then you can find somewhere, I'm not going to show you guys, it takes too long, a way to change those colors on here. I also changed the relative strength indicators colors too, which is why it may be confusing to some. But Bitcoin on its 4-hour, dang, did it bottom out? Something is very interesting is happening here, and you guys can clearly see what I'm referring to. This is a repeat of what happened up here. Then it blew bearish and broke way through its high-low MMA and kind of plummeted down, and then found a support at 36.18. Clearly, you can see we are still oversold. With this potential, it does, being oversold now on its 4-hour, it's giving me an interesting vibe that it's going to shoot up like that. I'd be shocked if we broke bearish and fell lower. It's still possible, but I'm aiming more or leaning more towards a move like that up to its high-low MMA. Only up to around $3,800. Only about a $200 move, but it is a move in the right direction. But obviously, we've talked about this is not a stable, sustainable movement, as you've seen here, and it's usually followed by a really aggressive move to either direction. So that's unfortunate, but something that you guys do have to pay attention to. Lastly, Ethereum, for the top 3 blue chip coins we like to discuss, broke bearish. You can see it's still, oversold, really oversold, actually. Finding some support right here. I can draw this line out now that it's becoming more clear. we do have a support right around here. You can see where it's cut previously, and now it's doing the same exact thing, trading sideways, flatlining, no volume. We're going to see a move, guys, within crypto once again, with this no volume movement. I do think it's going to be to the upside this time due to the fact that we are oversold on most of the blue chip coins, and we will see an aggressive movement. Lastly, the weirdest token that I have reviewed in quite some time. I don't remember the last time I reviewed Tron on the Crypto TV community's channel, but it's nice that we're viewing it. So you can clearly see it. I've had these lines on here for quite some time now. The last time I reviewed Tron, I drew these lines, and you can see we had a downtrend, broke bullish from that. We had a second downtrend, we broke bullish, and it seems like we had this big ascending triangle, or sorry, descending triangle that we drew, and it broke fairly nice, actually, hitting some resistance up at the top here, which makes sense for Tron. You can see right here. And, on the weekly, it does have potential to move up higher. On the daily, though, may not. Yeah, you guys can see the reason we're pulling back down. Beautiful break, though, within Ethereum, Tron. We hit a resistance up at the top here, but the interesting thing to note is we were overbought. We were extremely overbought up here, with all this news coming out. Maybe it was in regards to BitTorrent and, Tron partnership. That shot this coin up crazy high. And with that, we entered a very unstable market. Too much volume, too many things going on at once. We became overbought. You can see that huge injection of volume right there. Not stable at all. And with reason, we did pull back down and we did consolidate lower, and you can see we finally back entered into a more neutral area back in the RSI. So we do think what this coin needs to do is consolidate out further. Either it can potentially fall down or at least re-meet up with its high-low MMA. So this could move up here, and the price itself could move like that, and then we could, meet up like that. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards. I think that would be better for this coin if it wants to continue to move upwards. But there is a somewhat small ascending triangle, uptrend forming right here. Just something to keep note of. I'm not really sure how we want to draw that. We could do it something like that. This is on the daily. There is some sort of uptrend here. Let's see if it holds true. But the coin does, but there you can see the colors, need to pull back down slightly and retest some sort of support right here. It's kind of just free falling right now. But otherwise, that's going to sum up today's episode. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up if you like the content, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode. Peace.